Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of Feed the Beast. It's been quite a while. As you can see, we have a fair amount of UU matter. I had some hardware problems. I had a motherboard fry somehow, so big ordeal. Either way, I'm back online and I'm ready to do this. I've already made all the patterns for the ultimate hybrid solar panel, including the UU to iridium recipe and everything that needed to go in the interfaces for the machines. What I wanted to do today was make the laser drill and stuff, but my internet went down because we're having a storm and my internet sucks apparently. So I cannot get to the wiki to find out what's what. Like, I know I need 4 pre-chargers and a drill, but I don't know what the focuses do, or foci, whichever you want to say. So I won't be able to do that until I have a chance to either play in creative, which I will probably do after the episode, since I don't have an internet, or until I can look at the wiki. So what we need to do today is, first we need to make an ultimate hybrid to see if it'll actually work, to see if I didn't miss anything in the pattern. And we need to make some glowstone illuminators. So I figure we could go ahead and automate that process, since we're going to have to make a few of them. I also need to find out how to get a pink slime ball. If I click it, there's no recipe for it. I don't know if it's as easy as adding ceramic dye to something, but it doesn't give me a recipe. So anyway, let's see if this thing works. It's probably going to take a minute because it has to craft all the stuff and put it all together. A couple things I did, I made a couple of changes. I did add overclockers to the compressor because it's so slow, and I added a couple to the extractor just for the hell of it. I put a few extra geothermals, well, not extra, I put a few geothermals on the mass fabricator just to give it a little more juice, since I already have that endothermic pump going into an ender tank. I figure we can give this thing 100 more EU, and it'll work a little more quickly, and the scrap is just barely keeping up, so I think it's a pretty good balance. So I'm happy with that. So basically what we need to do is we need a crucible and a transposer for, I'll go ahead and set up the one for ender pearls, though it might get moved over if we don't need that much space in between. So we're going to need a couple of export buses and an import bus. And hopefully these will craft while the other stuff is crafting. It'll just be a little slow. It might even have to cook up processors. So how I usually do my automated liquids, kind of like the redstone, I just keep the one crucible full so that the transposer always has stuff in it. So basically what we'll need to do is set the inputs on the top and the right. In this one, we need an input on the top and the output on the side. And I'm going to need some cable to get in there. and probably some glowstone so we can make the rule. And I've already made the pattern for the illuminator, though I haven't, or the frame, I haven't actually made any. So how I normally do this is I tell this thing, I don't think it really matters. Actually, I was wrong on that. I need an input and an output on this one. So let's do it that way. And it doesn't really matter where the inputs go. I'm going to have to run cable over here for this one anyway. So we'll put our other export bus right there. So basically this export bus, I want to always send illuminator frames. This one will always send glowstone. So it gets juiced, and then it'll automatically go down into the transposer. Hopefully. I think it only does it at so many buckets worth. And I always get impatient and start clicking things around. Let me go ahead and I guess I could make this the output, right? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we're always going to have glowstone juice in here. If we make another illuminator, once it crafts, it automatically gets sent. It should automatically get sent to the transposer if I set the output right. What did I do wrong? I never get this right the first time. Oh, it already filled it up, so maybe I did do it right. So let's make 10 of them. As soon as they get made, they get put in here, and I guess this thing fills it up faster than the energy cells and stuff. Maybe it takes less glowstone juice inside. So it's kind of the same principle as this. This one we have set to always send energy conduit, so since there's always redstone in here, anytime we craft a conduit, it'll get sent here and filled up. I do the same thing with energy cell frames, and I do my tesseracts the same way. It's just the easiest way for me to do it. So anytime we need to make those illuminators, we can. It's not that tough, and we have plenty of glowstone to burn, so that's not an issue. Momentarily, this will be full, just like the redstone one is. So let's go see what's happening with our ultimate hybrid over here. It doesn't say anything is crafting, but we don't have one. Oh, I know what happened. I broke the cable, so it reset the system. So whatever it was doing, it just stopped. And I don't, I also overlooked. See, this is why I do this. I don't have a solar panel recipe. I believe I have a recipe for the alloy, and I do have one for the advanced solar, but I don't have one for the regular solar. And maybe I don't have one for that Cenarium alloy either. Is that the one I'm missing? Yep. I made all the pieces for it, but I forgot to actually put it together, I think. And apparently I missed that one as well. Alright, so we'll throw those back in there. Those made, no problem. And as long as I have a recipe for the generator, which I probably... Oh, I do. Awesome. Alright, so there it goes. That should do it, hopefully. So that's it. I think I'm gonna need power converters to power the pre-chargers. So what I was planning on doing was using the ultimate with a BC producer, and then just splitting it off. So we'll need to make the energy bridge and all of that stuff. Probably won't do that right now. Or we can go ahead and make the patterns, because most likely we're going to make a couple of them. So we want an HV consumer. Yeah, I'm not going to make all those recipes right now because that's kind of a pain. The other thing is we only have 8 emeralds. And these things, each one of these foci, takes 4 emeralds, which we don't have. Never mind the stained glass. I'm going to make each of the stained glasses individually. I don't really need to make a pattern for those. However, we're going to need a bunch more emeralds. So I'm just going to do that with the tome here, because that's the easiest way to do it. Because we have plenty of lapis, it's no big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of stacks of that. Might as well go ahead and make a couple of stacks of lapis blocks while we're at it. And in between this episode and the next, I will set up some mob farms, because we're going to need a steady supply of ender pearls at some point. And bones and stuff like that. The cocoa guys are doing pretty well. I haven't even run this world in a few days, but we already got over 3,000 cocoa beans just from what they did already. Let me finish off this. I overlooked these 9. There we go. So I'm going to put 3 stacks of emeralds into the system, and I'll save these other 9 just to make sure I have one on hand in case I need to make more. And let's see if we have a solar panel yet. Still crafting. Hopefully, unless I forgot those stupid recipes too. I did not run out of UU matter. Let's take a look. Enriched Cenarium. I'm pretty sure I made that. No, I forgot another one. I always do that. When you have to go down so many levels, it's easy to miss 1 or 5, you know. So this should have everything it needs now. How many of those alloys does it even take? Just 2. Okay. So once all this stuff finishes, it'll make those, and it should be good to go. So I'm going to hang out, and then how much fiber cable do I have? Probably not enough. We'll make a little more fiber cable. Once the solar panel is finished crafting, what we'll do is we will hook this up. I'll probably just hook it up right. Well, there's really no good place to hook it up. I cannot hook it up to this line because this is all LV. So if it touches this fiber cable, both those bat boxes are going to explode. So I'm going to need to put it somewhere on this one, not right there. So I guess we can just go straight up in the middle of this. Is about the middle of the room, right? I don't really know what's up there. I don't know. Well, a room is up here. We can run it out through the wall and set it over here somewhere. Yeah, that'll work. So let me run this wire while the thing is crafting, and then I'll be back with you, and we'll probably leave the geothermal generators just because, but we'll get more power to our mass fabricator. So I will be back in a minute. Okay, we have an ultimate hybrid solar panel. A slight change of plans. What I did was, rather than go out and up, I just went over far enough that I could make a hole so that the solar panel can see the sky. Since it only needs, you know, one block or whatever. So I just tunneled up. And that should work just fine. If something explodes right now, feel free to laugh. I'm not going to be offended or anything. But it shouldn't. Alright. I don't know how much faster that is. I forgot to look at it before we hooked that thing up. But either way, generating 512, output 512. It's going to use every single bit of EU this thing makes. So right now we're giving it probably around about 750 or a little less EU. So I'm not really probably going to dedicate any more ultimate solar panel resources to that. I just wanted to give it a little more power to make it work a little faster. So one more thing. No mobs are supposed to spawn around there, but I'm going to put a glass block up there anyway. Just so nothing falls down on top of it. And it should still work just fine. Yep, still all good. So I'm going to do some testing / research on the laser drill and the pre-charger. I'm also going to go ahead and make a place to spawn all the mobs in the soul cages, and then in the next couple of episodes we will figure out how to kill them. We've got Enderman, Skeleton, Slime, and Blaze. When I set up the blazes, I think what I'd like to do is replace the charcoal for these generators with blaze rods. I know they nerfed them a bit from previous versions, but I don't care. It's less work, and you know, I think it'll work just as well. If we have any quicksand, we can do it that way. I know I've done it that way before. We could also do turtles. That might be a better way to do it, since we probably have plenty of diamonds in here. And yeah, I think we'll do it with turtles. I'll just I'll take my filler and I'll hollow out an area below here, and then I'll just run an ME cable straight down and put an import bus on the back of all of the turtles, rather than use an ender chest or something like that. So I think that will do it for this episode. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.